Hi guys, I'm going to do a little bit of a different one today. So for ages I was kind of debating whether I was going to do what I got for my three children for Christmas. Like that, those videos are going around a lot at the moment, especially with the Black Friday deals and everything. And for a number of different reasons, I felt a little bit uneasy about doing a video like that. And there's a number of reasons, but one of them is I don't want anyone to feel like they are not giving their children or aren't able to give their children um, enough. And I think we're in the UK. I think people are struggling all over the world, but the money is really tight for most families in the UK at the moment, and we have been in that position 100%, and it can be really tough when you want to give your children everything, and at Christmas that seems to be the sole thing is presents. And so I then saw a few different videos of some fellow homemade mums on YouTube that did sort of more like a gift guide type of thing, or things that have worked really well for their children through the years. And I think something like that is a lot more helpful because you don't just see this amount of presents that you think, oh my goodness, my kids are only getting half of that, or you know, a third of that or something. You don't need to feel that guilt when you can just get a few fun ideas. I've also tried to include in this some things that are more low cost, and also projects you can do with your kids that are a bit more like homemade. And I think what I've learned over the years, so my eldest is 12, is aunts, uncles, grandparents have absolutely treasured the homemade ones, and they've cost me such a small amount. But the fact that the children have taken time to really put an effort in and spend time making something for their granny or their grandpa, that's what's so magical. And I think Christmas really should be about spending time with family and enjoying each other's company and really thinking of each other. So we try our best to go down more of that route, because I also think, like, I know, and I'll get into this, but when people say, what do you want, what do you want, and obviously I joke with my husband, I'm like, oh, I'd love a new perfume or whatever, but generally I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want you to worry about me, kind of thing. I enjoy giving, gift giving, and I find receiving gifts quite awkward. And so I've included a few things for people that are like that, that might help you in those situations, because you just want to know what they want. I know it's difficult of me, so I totally get that I'm really tricky, and I feel guilty for that as well. But anyway, so I'm just going to start off kind of in that realm of, if you've got someone a bit tricky to buy for, or you feel like it's just that person that kind of has everything they need, like a granny or someone. They seem to have all this beautiful collection of china and different things like that, and you think, I can't compete with this, I can't add to this. And one huge thing that we've actually done this year is we have decided to purchase an experience. So we have decided to purchase a trip to Legoland. We did this through the Black Friday sales, and it's going to be a joint present for all three of the children. It was just 1 night, 2 days. We're going to surprise them on Christmas Day for that. And I will also say that I don't think we're going to do it this year, but almost every year my mother-in-law has, my mother-in-law and father-in-law, I say mother-in-law because we all know she's the one that's doing all the organising, but she usually does like a day trip or something, a family ticket for somewhere. And it's so special because even if we do the activity like 6 months later, we can really like think, oh, Granny took time researching this place and gifting it to us, and then we can send her pictures of the day that we spent together. Last time we went to a place with like a railway and everything, and we actually met my brother-in-law and his daughter, so cousins were able to play together, and that was really special. So it gave us like another day that was really special as a family. So I think if you're struggling or the parents have gone, please don't get us any more toys, I've been that parent, then a trip somewhere and a family ticket for something can be really, really fun. I have also done this with my brother and his girlfriend. I got them, and actually my sister-in-law and her boyfriend, I got like in Cineworld in the UK, and Odeon do a similar one, but the Cineworld's really great. You can get 2 tickets plus like a large drink or 2 large drinks and popcorn, and it's like £28 and it's sort of like a gift bundle. And so we've done that gift card before, so it's not just like you're gifting £20-30 on a gift card, you're actually saying here is the experience and, you know, a snack while you watch. So I think that's a really good one. And then final experience I'll sort of mention is my son, he is 8 now, but one of his most favourite animals is a donkey. It's always been a donkey. I think it's a really sweet one, but he loves donkeys. And amazingly, locally to us, we found a very small farm. I think they have 4 donkeys and that's it. And they're rescues originally, but they work with children, and my son has special needs. But it was an experience where you spent about 3 hours and you got taught like all the different brushes, how to brush them, how to feed them. He took them on a walk through the woods, and it was so amazing. The guy that looks after them, he was just brilliant and so patient with my son. I forgot my phone, and he just took literally 100 pictures for me, sent them over of him like walking the donkey and brushing the donkey and everything, and that was really amazing. It also felt like the donkeys themselves were really well looked after, and I think that can be sort of a bit of a worry if you've never visited the wildlife place that you're offering this from. You can kind of feel a bit like, oh, I hope it's not just sort of like you know, I hope the animals are well looked after, and I really felt like they were. It was just a lovely experience. It was also really reasonable. I want to say it was about £40, and you could go as a family up to 4, but obviously it's a special thing for my son, so it was just me and him. So I would definitely recommend looking into experiences like that, especially if you've got a child that's super into animals, or an adult. I think my sister gifted her friend like a koala or sloth experience from a zoo. So yeah, you can really look into them and find really great things. There's sort of like full zookeeper days and things, and again, it's less stuff and it's more about experience, and I think that's really lovely. Again, we as a couple are often given vouchers, and they'll say, you know, we'll watch the kids while you go and have dinner out, and I think that's really lovely as well. So yeah, there's some ideas for sort of non-physical gifts, and like I said, ending that off, when I get asked what do you want for Christmas, I just say babysit. Just offer to babysit. I don't care if it's for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. Just, yeah, babysit. My brother said to me, he's absolutely spoiled the kids, and he said to me, oh, I haven't sorted you or Ellie out. And I said, we don't need anything. Just come and watch the kids. And he's actually already done it, but I'm sure he'll do it again. But he's brilliant because he'll bring pizza for the kids, so I don't have to cook, and there's like limited, you know, washing up afterwards either, and he'll just come watch a movie with them, and we can go out for an hour or 2, and it's brilliant. So I would say as well, if you sort of have you know, your children have children of their own and you're thinking of it, just do like, you can get the cute on Etsy, you can get the cutest little voucher sort of booklet type things, or just make one yourself that sort of says, you know, 1 babysitting voucher, and you could do like a little book of 12, you know, 1 a month or something, and that's such a great thing to offer. And I think also children, as for the children as well, like really, when it comes down to it, children just want your time and your attention, and I think that's what they'll remember the most. So when their uncle comes over, they are so excited. They just absolutely love it. So, and that's lovely for me to see as well. And we actually spent that time to plan booking the trip to Legoland. So, we didn't want children coming in and everything. So it was a really nice, just 2 hours off when he came and babysat at the weekend. So yes, offered to babysit. But yes, something like that. Other sort of ideas I've sort of seen that are not physical, that I've not personally done, but I think are really special, are things like, and I think like mums would love this. So maybe you and your mum a Christmas themed afternoon tea, or wreath making, or jewellery making, or something like that. You can do all sorts. You can do willow making, candle making, all of these sort of crafty things, and you go together, you learn together. Your mum is getting your time, and that's really special. I think that's a really lovely idea. But yeah, so that's kind of my take on experiences on sort of not physical gifts. And the next sort of category I was going to get into is board games. Now, I was going to quickly film a short video on our favourite board games, and so I won't go into every single one, but I just wanted to briefly say that board games, they're brilliant. Like this year, my mother-in-law is going to get each one of my children a little cardboard game, and the way I found them was we actually went to a local board game cafe in one of the local towns near us, and I literally just sort of spotted which ones they loved to play the most each, and then in the Black Friday sale there was loads of offers on, so I made sure to send them to my mother-in-law quickly so she could get them ordered while they were on offer. And that's just a really great game, and I think on Christmas Day it's going to be so good that we've got these new board games, new card games to play together and interact with each other, teach their grown-ups, because they've played it at this board game cafe, so they're going to have some idea how to play it. So yeah, board games, card games. I was also going to mention like all of the doubles. So I've got like a few examples. So this is actually Spot It, but Spot It and Double play very similarly, basically the same. And this is just a Mandalorian version, but with Double and Spot It, you can get all sorts of branded ones. So if you know that you've got a child that really loves, say, Marvel, we've got the Marvel one, but you don't want to necessarily get a toy, or the parents have said, I don't really want more toys, getting like a Double or Spot It is a really good idea, because it's something they can play with their parents. I also found this one, which has been brilliant because it's all battered. Ignore that. My 8-year-old super into Minecraft. Obviously that is a game. He plays on his PC tablet. This is nice to get him interested in like a physical game without screens, to make it themed. So we have the Minecraft one. I've also seen a Mario one. He's really into Mario, so that would be another good one to get. And then I was also going to just say, for younger children, the Orchard toy games are always brilliant, and I'm just going to show one example. So this is just one I got a number of years ago. It's Build a Snowman. So what you do is you spin this, and then you're allowed to pick up, they're all face down, you're allowed to pick up the corresponding number which is on the back of the card, and build a snowman. And that's really fun. My 6-year-old will still play this, even though obviously it's for really little ones. So it says 4, but I think you could go younger, more like 3, because the pieces are quite big. There's no die or anything to worry about. Yeah, so there are a few games that I think are really fun. The only other one that I was going to say, yes, is all of these bingos. Now, this is a really silly one. My mum got this, if you know her. you would guess that she got this. It's called Poo Bingo, but you match the animal to their poo, basically. That's how it works. And you have a big board, someone's the bingo like caller, is that the word for it? And then yeah, it's just plays like typical bingo, but with pictures. Now there are some absolutely beautiful ones of these, sort of like sea creatures, dinosaurs, birds, all sorts. These games are really, really nice and they're really sturdy. We've probably had this for 5 years and it's still going strong. So yeah, bingo type games are great. I've actually purchased this for some of our family, and they're a younger, like there's younger children and all the way up to adults, and I was stumped at trying to think of a game that I really wanted to get them a family game, but I wanted to make sure they could all play it, and this is definitely one because it's just picture recognition, so you don't have to read. You can read, but you also match the pictures. So I think this is a really good one, and it's funny because it's Poo Bingo. But if you want one that's a bit more classic and beautiful, there is really sweet ones. Like I think I've seen Endangered Animals one, and that was really sweet. So yeah, that's just another one, and one more that you can get really good themed ones of. And I actually have the fake version from Home Bargains. What is called, what's their name? But what's it? I'm trying to think what the actual game's called now. It's not what their name, but anyway, you know the game where you're sort of asking questions to guess who it is. This again, there's all sorts of themed versions of this. I saw a football one that I almost got for my husband, but then I thought, I don't know anything about any of these footballers, so I wouldn't be very good at it, apart from guessing appearance things. But yeah, there's all sorts of these. And the final one I'll say that is really good to get different themed ones, and everyone will have heard of it, but it's Top Trumps. You can literally get Top Trumps for almost anything. So yeah, Top Trumps is another really, really brilliant one. Like I said, I will do another short video, so look out for that, on just all our most favourite card and board games. But they're just some ideas for good gifts. The only other thing to do with that I was going to mention, I'll try and stick a picture up of it because we haven't actually got one. But if you know someone that really loves their card games, like an automatic card shuffler, because I don't know about you, but I'm rubbish at shuffling cards. And yeah, I think that would be a really good idea to get for someone that you know, or even like gift the Uno or something along with it, because they're really quite affordable. And then that together seems like quite a good big present. But yeah, if you think, oh, they have loads of card games, I don't really know what to get them, automatic card shuffler is a brilliant one. I'm just, sorry, I keep leaning forward because I've got my notes here so I don't forget anything. So yeah, the next sort of area I was going to discuss is books. I was going to sort of mention a few books that I've got this year, or books that I've kind of seen that I think are really cool. So obviously there's the classic Christmas books, and again I am going to do another short video on our favourite Christmas books. We've got some really sweet like older classics that actually were mine as a little girl, that maybe you won't have heard of, so that's sort of what I'm hoping to share. And I'm going to ask each one of the children to pick one that's their favourite. I think it's going to be hard for my 6-year-old because he's like kind of indecisive, so he might pick more, but obviously Christmas books, and I will share, there's some really, really lovely Christmas books out there. I will also say that the Works in the UK, they have amazing deals on books around this time of year, and you can usually get a 10 for £10, or it might even be 12 for £10 deal on books, on picture books, and you can pick and choose, or they sort of have packs. And I think if you're struggling like financially and you want to get you know, each one of your nieces and nephews or something a book, it's £1 a book or less, and I think that's a really, and they're really nice, and some of them are like classics, like We're Going on a Bear Hunt and stories like that, so they're not just really basic ones, they're really lovely stories. I actually did it last year for my 6-year-old. I did 10 Paddington books because he loves the Paddington TV series, and these were based off that 10 picture books. And I think I did that for his birthday in the end, like the stack. So yeah, check out the works, I would say, for offers on books like that. The other thing I would say is you can really find great themed books, journals, calendars based on something the person's really into, whether it's a TV show or a movie or franchise or something like that. And so I will just mention I've found this, I'll hopefully link a picture, but I found this absolutely amazing Paddington Lift the Flap book for my 6-year-old. It's based on the Paddington in Peru, the latest movie. So that's going to be one of his gifts. And then for my daughter, she's got really into Lord of the Rings, and there was a cookery book, because she loves cookery and she's getting into cookery. It's a cookery book based on recipes from the movies, and like foods that were mentioned. And I just think that's like a really lovely gift that we can then cook and try out the recipes together with. One year my daughter loves sushi, and one year my mum and sister actually gifted her like a sushi making kit along with a sushi cookery book. And I think that's another really lovely way to sort of not just get one or the other, but like join them together, and each one of them sort of discussed it together and said, I'll get the book, and you get the kit. So yeah, something like that would be really nice. And like I said, you can find so much that's themed on the person, on what the person you're buying for likes, and it just feels really special that way. I was also going to again mention something for a bit of a younger person, but this has been something, and again I'll try and share a picture, that I have been gifted, and I have gifted over and over again, and I've always had like comments on like, my child will not stop playing with this, and I know it's the truth because I've had it with mine. But it's this really fun game, and there's all sorts of different themes where there's all these different pieces in a box, and then there's a magnetic back, and we call it funny faces because some of them have cards to copy and you can make all these funny faces. Some are dressing up, some are like scenes. They're all sorts of really fun things, and because they're magnetic, it's so you're a lot less likely to like lose them, so you can kind of take it with you everywhere, and that's really great. I would say from about 3 up, because some of the pieces are quite small. And then the other thing that I wanted to say, sort of as another random one, is jewellery making kits or jewellery making classes, something like that. My daughter got really into jewellery making, and then I took the boys to a space themed one with her, and they all loved it. And then we've kind of built up our own collection of jewellery making beads and equipment and everything. And it's also like a lovely one to make for people. So we have done that as well. Like last year, my daughter and my sons, they all made for like different teachers and things, like tutors and classes that they go to. They all gifted. My daughter gifted like her therapist earrings, and she wears them all the time. It's so sweet. And my mother-in-law and the boys made bookmarks, these metal bookmarks. But I will link our local jewellery making like shop, because she does have a website and she does sell like starter kits, both for younger children but also for adults. So that's a really lovely gift to give. You can also get like Melissa and Doug jewellery making kits, and they're really, really a lot bigger, the beads. I sat with my niece when she was over, and she was just a bit bored, and I thought, let's try and these beads were really big. So and she's 3, so I think it depends on the child, because I think at 3 my 6-year-old probably would not have been safe with them, but it's just like, I think it depends on the child. Girls are a little bit more sensible, I swear. The final thing I will mention, and I think I've said it a few times in the video already, is how much we love, making gifts for people, and how much people love that you have spent time and effort making them something. So I was just going to quickly show you a few things that we've made already and just tell you about a few things we're hoping to make for friends and family. I also have filmed a video of a hamper I've already done and completed, and I explain why, but basically my sister-in-law and her boyfriend, long-term boyfriend, have purchased their first house together, and I wanted to make sure that they had it before Christmas so they could use the things in their new home. So I've already done that one, and I've filmed like a little video. I'm hopefully going to film a video of some of the other hampers that I do, but just in case I don't, I was just going to show you a few little things, and these are all super inexpensive ideas. So I was just going to show you, for example, this is one of the candles that me and the boys made together. So the mugs, well, they're not mugs, they're like little teacups, but they're almost like espresso cups. I got 8 of them. I got 4 of these with the little saucer for £5, and then I got the other 4 were £3.98, I think, without little saucers, all from the charity shop. And then I got this really pretty set of cellophane, which I can actually show you. The other ones are like gingerbread men. I got these all from, I can't remember, I think I got them from Poundland. Really affordable. And then I just got some string from our local like hardware shop. They had some Christmas string, and it was like £1 for, I think it was like 10 meters or something for this like Christmassy string. So yeah, that's a little candle. I have some essential oils. That's what we use to make it smell nice. And then I got I think it was soy wax. It wasn't beeswax. From like a candle making kit off Amazon, and it came with the wicks and everything as well, which was really useful. And I want to say it was sort of like 10, maybe £13, and each one of these used 1 block of the candle wax, and then there was 16 in the pack, so we've still got loads left because we've done 8. So that's just one example of a little gift. And to be honest, for like teachers' gifts, things like that, this would be enough. With a little homemade card or a card, this is a really sweet gift. The boys spent ages picking the scent, and that's just like a really sweet gift. I'd be so chuffed if someone gave me something like that. I'll just, for example, show you one of the other ones. I thought these little cups were so pretty, and they've got different designs. Then another one that we had some leftover bags from one of our activities for home ed. So me and my daughter actually spent a long time decorating with some fabric paint that we had left over from a project we were doing, and some stencils that we had. We actually had these from, I don't know whether you know the paint sticks, but last year we had like a window paint stick, so you can use those paint sticks on the window, and they came with stencils, and we just used those same stencils to decorate the bags with. And this is going to go in a hamper as well, but especially like for someone like my nan or something, she'd really appreciate this, and she can put her shopping in it, and it's just a really sweet idea. So that's another really reasonably priced idea. I think I got 10 bags, and maybe they were like £15, so they were like £1.50. And then I already had the fabric paint. If you don't have fabric paint, you could probably use acrylic and then put some kind of like varnish over it, and it would probably be fine, like not run. Then another thing that my 8-year-old actually made, and I hope you can see the shimmer, you probably can't, but we used this silicone cake mold that we have that's got all these different shapes. It's like a snowman, gingerbread man, it's like a star, all sorts. And we just got some soap mix. I think it was like £10, and we've used about half, so about £5 worth, and there's 8 of them, so less than £1 of soap. Already had the essential oils. then just use some of the cellophane to wrap around it. These set so quickly, and he absolutely loved like taking them out and again picking the scents for them. And then we put on some like edible spritz glitter that you can get from the baking section, because they are white, and it just made a really beautiful shimmer on them. And obviously that's going to be absolutely fine for the skin, because it's edible. So you know, if children, you worry about things like that, don't you? But that to me is just another lovely gift. And actually for my sister-in-law's hamper, my son picked her a little soap that he made, and then we got them a soap dish for their new house, so that kind of went nicely together. Other gifts that we're going to try and make are, I was going to try and make, you've probably seen these like chocolate salamis that are all over Instagram and everything at the moment. I'll see if I can get a picture. But basically it's like a rocky road mix, and then you make it into a salami, and you can either slice it or give it as a whole salami sort of design, and again wrap it in cellophane. I thought that would be a really good one for the kids to make. You can add like fruit, nuts, chopped up different things in there. Again, like rocky road, so easy to sort of change and make more Christmassy with like cranberries and different things. So I was thinking we could try and make some of that, and I think again that would be a really good one with younger children, because really it's breaking things up and just chucking them in and mixing them together. It's quite a simple one, and you know, no hot or baking if you want to avoid that kind of activity. The other thing is we tend to make some vegan peppermints. This is something my mum used to always make with us for teachers and things like that, and I think it's a really sweet Christmassy idea. Again, it's also like you don't have to cook them, so if you're worried about that kind of thing with younger children, then that's like, you don't have to worry about that. Truffles are always good, chocolate truffles. I don't think we will do them this year. We did do some acorn truffles when we were doing our tree unit in home ed, and they loved that. It was more like a cake pop, but it was a truffle filling. I'm trying to think of what else I was going to say. Oh yeah, so along the sort of baking, my 8-year-old did a Charlie and the Chocolate Factory unit novel study with the I can't talk now, with the Waldock Way, and one of the suggested activities was to make your own chocolate bar. So I have some like Dubai style chocolate bar molds. They're huge, and that is something that we are thinking he would like to make for like his auntie and a few others. So they are filled chocolate bars. We have also made chocolate bark before, which honestly the easiest way to do it is just spread out a few big chocolate bars, the cheapest of the cheap from your supermarket. Spread it out on a baking tray on a really low oven. Just let the chocolate melt, kind of whirl it round with a toothpick or something, a spoon even if you don't want your kids to have a toothpick, and then you can sprinkle all sorts of stuff on. So you could sprinkle sprinkles, Christmas sprinkles, little candy like chocolate, you know, like Smarties or whatever they like. You can make it personal. Or I've seen people do really clever things where they put like a red Smartie or M&M, and then they'll break pretzels to make it look like a little red-nosed reindeer. So there's loads of ideas like that out. You can do, you know, like white buttons to make a little snowman. You can do all sorts. And then you just kind of snap it into rough bits and put it again in one of those, like something like this, like a cellophane bar, and it looks like gourmet chocolate, and it's taken you no time. And again, it's a toddler could do that. They could have fun sprinkling it all on, and then you give it to your granny and she thinks it's amazing because it's been made by them. And honestly, I think there's a lot of there's something really special about that. Again, with the homemade Christmas cards. So my 8-year-old, again, with the hamper we've just done for my sister-in-law, he loves these surprise pictures, where I'm sure if you've got children, you've seen them. It looks like present, and then you open it and you can see the inside of the present. And she loved ducks, so he did the tutorial. He spent ages on it, bless him. Did the tutorial to make the present, and then he also did a tutorial to make a duck wearing a Christmas tree on the wearing a Christmas hat on the inside, and made it into a little card by like sticking a little piece of paper on to write like the little card. And so yeah, homemade cards, that's another really lovely one. I think lots of grandparents would be happy with a homemade card and nothing else, to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of what my opinion of it is. Again, if I was to get something homemade, I would think, yeah, it was just so special that someone had sort of spent that time on me. So that sort of like wraps it up, really. My overriding message is, if you've got time to just sit and take an afternoon and just make a few things together, with your children or on your own if you don't have children, yeah, it's really is just what Christmas is about, in my opinion. It's the cold nights, sitting in, getting cozy. I wish I could knit or crochet, because one really special gift that I'm giving the children this year is a friend of mine crochets, and she's trying to crochet to get money for her wedding, and she's made me the cutest little stockings with each one of my children's initials on. So yeah, if you can knit or crochet, that would be such a lovely gift. But yeah, I hope this has been useful. I hope that I've managed to get all the pictures to work at the right time, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about when I've mentioned different things. But yeah, I'd love to read any ideas you have in the comments. I'm always looking for more unique ideas for gifts. But yeah, hopefully I'll have a video out soon on my favourite or our favourite board games and our favourite Christmas books for some more ideas for you. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.